everyone, Simon is here. In today's video, we're tackling an LG dryer that's not heating up, one of the most common issues you might face with your appliance. To help you get back to perfectly warm and dry clothes, we will walk you through inspecting key components like the high limit thermostat, safety thermostat, igniter, gas valve, flame detector, and the motor. But before we dive in, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more DIY appliance repair tips. These checks might sound complicated, but with a little guidance, you can absolutely tackle them yourself. Let's get the dryer heating again. One more thing before getting your hand dirty. Please check if the gas supply valve behind the dryer is open and the settings on the dryer call for heat dry. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you to do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. For this job, we're going to need a Flatblade screwdriver, a short Phillips screwdriver, a multimeter, a power Phillips screwdriver, and the vacuum cleaner. The burning gas is a source of heat in our dryer, and gas valve controls the flow of gas, opening and closing it on demand. The gas valve is operated by 2 electromagnetic coils and 2 internal membranes and controlled by a number of safety devices. The valve is located near the bottom of the dryer on the right. The gas valve may cause longer drying time or no heat at all. The control coils get weak and work only in the very beginning of the cycle, shutting down prematurely. Also, if the membrane sticks, gas won't pass through. In any case, the gas valve won't stay open to provide required heat. Take out 3 Phillips screws from the back of the dryer stop and slide it out. Turn the dryer on for time dry, normal heat, and dim the room lights. Within a minute, you should see the red light glow under the drum in the front right corner. That's the igniter getting hot. After it gets really hot, the gas valve opens, gas ignites, and the igniter shuts off. If there is no flame, the igniter and the flame sensor cools down and the cycle repeats. That is the sign of bad control coils or sticking valve. In both cases, the gas valve needs to be replaced. Oh, and just in case, check if the gas shuttle valve behind the dryer is open. If gas won't ignite, you can run a resistance test of the gas valve coils as a second test. For that, we need to get to the main PCB. Unplug the dryer and turn the gas off. With the top panel removed, locate the PCB housing mounted in the center. Remove 2 Phillips screws to free the housing. Using the flatblade screwdriver, undo the tabs and open the cover. Locate the blue 3-wire connector BL3 and disconnect it. Set your multimeter to resistance, horseshoe-like sign, to K ohms. Touch the red and pink wires and then red and white wires. In both instances, you should read 1.5 to 2.5 kilo ohms. If the resistance is off or no continuity, replace the gas valve assembly. The flame detector or flame sensor is a part of the gas igniting system of a dryer. It's wired in together with the igniter and both gas valve coils. The flame detector is normally closed. When the igniter gets really hot, the flame detector contacts open, redirecting power to the gas valve coils. The coils open, gas starts flowing through and ignites. A flame detector may go bad in 2 ways. Its contacts may weld together or burn out. Get your multimeter set to continuity and locate the yellow plug YL3 at the PCB. Disconnect the plug and touch meter probes to gray and to black contacts. Those 2 are outside contacts. If there's continuity, the flame detector is good. No continuity, open circuit, replace the flame detector. When electricity is going through the igniter, it gets really hot and ignites gas inside the burner funnel. Igniter could go bad in 2 ways: burn out completely and not produce any heat, or lose its resistance and not being able to open the gas valve and ignite gas right away and hold the flame torch long enough. That causes short cycling, longer drying time, and eventually no heat. we can test the dryer igniter from the main PCB. Set your multimeter to resistance horseshoe-like sign to K ohms. Unplug the black relay and yellow YL3 plug, and touch with meter probes the blue wire at the relay and number 3 gray or black wire at the YL3. You should read between 50 and 800 ohms. If the reading is way off or there is an open circuit, the igniter is doomed. The dryer's motor centrifugal switch during the start closes contacts for the electrical path to the igniter and the gas control coils. So without the motor running, there won't be an accidental gas ignition. We need to test if the motor switch circuitry is closed. On the PCB, locate the blue connector with a single yellow wire and YL3 3-wire connector. Extreme care should always be taken to protect against electrical shock, which could potentially result in serious injury. Please do not test live voltage if you are uncomfortable using a multimeter around live voltage. Set your multimeter to volts AC, letter V with a wavy line. Insert the probe in a black wire connector on YL3 plug and another one into yellow wire connector at the blue 2 plug. Plug the dryer in. Turn the power on. Do not start the dryer yet. Your meter should read about 120 volts AC. Now start the dryer on and time dry. If the reading is changing to near 0 volts AC, the motor is good. If you still have around 120 volt AC, the centrifugal switch is bad and the motor should be replaced. Both the high limit thermostat and the safety thermostat are designed to terminate power to the gas valve if the temperature at the burner funnel exceeds safety level. The high limit thermostat does not automatically reset, it opens at 230 degrees Fahrenheit. That is designed in purpose to point to the blockage in the exhaust system. The thermostat can be manually reset after taking care of the issue by pressing in the little button on the top of it. It's located on the left side of the burner funnel near the bottom. When the high limit is open, you should replace both the high limit and the safety thermostats. The safety thermostat is mounted on the right top side of the burner funnel. In case of the restriction in the airflow, the burner overheats, and that's when the safety thermostat opens, cutting power to the gas valve. It opens at 203 degrees Fahrenheit. This thermostat automatically resets after cooling down, but repeated overheating may cause it to burn. Unplug the dryer, move to the front, and pull the water tank drawer on the left and remove the water tank. Using the Flatblade screwdriver, press the locking tab up from underneath the drawer and take it out. Using a Phillips screwdriver, remove 2 screws, one on each side of the drawer opening. Move to the right corner and remove 1 more Phillips screw from the back of the control panel. Disconnect control board plugs, pull on the top and remove the control panel. Open the door and remove 4 Phillips screws, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Next, remove top Phillips screws that hold the front panel. Use a Flatblade screwdriver to release the catch on the top right and tilt the front panel for about an inch. Disconnect the white and the pink plugs from the door switch and the light and remove the front panel. Remove 4 Phillips screws from the top of the front bracket and take the bracket away. Get down and disconnect the sensor plug on the right. Next step is to take out 2 Phillips screws on each side, lift up and remove the front bulkhead. I recommend wearing gloves for the next step. Don't get shy, get on your 4 and reach under the drum from both sides. Push up the idler pulley and remove the belt of the motor pulley, pull on the belt and slide the drum out of the cabinet. You may clean the dryer. Using a vacuum cleaner, carefully not to break the igniter, clean the lint out. Get to the rear and clean the duct pipe. As I mentioned earlier, the high limit thermostat is on the left side of the burner funnel under the flame detector, and it has 2 wires. There is a reset button in the middle. Do not push it in yet. Using the Flatblade screwdriver, remove 1 wire over the terminal. Set your multimeter for continuity, Wi-Fi looking sign, and touch both terminals of the thermostat. If there's a continuity, the thermostat is good. If not, it's open, and now you can push the button in and run the test again. Let's move to the safety thermostat. It tests the same way as a high limit. There are also two wires. Use the flatblade screwdriver to remove one wire off and set the multimeter to continuity. Touch the terminals with both probes. If you are getting continuity, the thermostat is good. If there is no continuity, replace the safety thermostat together with the high limit thermostat. As a result of our troubleshooting, we have established the guilty party. It's the high limit thermostat, and we all know it should be replaced together with a safety thermostat. Using a flatblade screwdriver, remove wires from the terminals. Unscrew 4 Phillips screws and lift the thermostats. This is the old high limit and safety thermostat next to the new ones. If you don't have these parts, you can get it from AppliancePartsPros.com. Install the safety thermostat on the top right of the burner funnel just over the opening. Align the holes and secure it with the 2 Phillips screws. Connect the wires, the order is not important. Place the one leg of the new high limit thermostat in a cutout just the way you did with the safety thermostat, and then align the holes and install 2 Phillips screws. Again, connect the wires, and again, the order is not important. Don't relax just yet. This heap of metal and screws is far from a working dryer. You've still got some work to do. Place the belt on a drum with the ribs inside. Install the drum inside. Make sure that the rear edge is on the 3 rollers. Place the gloves on and dive under the drum. Loop the belt over the idler pulley, push the idler pulley up, and install the loop over the motor pulley. Slowly turn the drum one full turn manually to check the belt position. Bring and install the front bulkhead. Make sure all support rollers are under the drum. Lock the front bulkhead into 4 pilot holes on the sides and secure the bulkhead with the 4 Phillips screws. Install the top front bracket. Lock in the side hooks and secure everything with 4 Phillips screws, the longer ones on the sides of the cabinet. Get down and connect the sensor plug on the right. Bring the front panel, install it on the bottom hinges. Tilt it forward, reconnect the white and the pink plugs. Using the flatblade screwdriver, lift the catch on the right upper corner and secure the front panel with 4 Phillips screws. Open the door and install 2 Phillips screws at the bottom and 2 Phillips screws at the top. Mount the control panel. Install 2 Phillips screws on the sides of the dispenser drawer opening and 1 more from back in the right corner. Connect all the plugs. Install the top panel, push it forward to lock, and secure with 3 Phillips screws from the back. Install the water tank drawer in. Lift the tab with the flatblade screwdriver and push it in. Place the water tank inside the drawer and slide the drawer in. Plug the dryer in and don't forget to open the gas. We hope this guide has helped you troubleshoot your LG dryer's heating issues. Once you have pinpointed the problem, head over to AppliancePartsPros.com with your model number to order the replacement part you need. Most orders arrive within a couple of days, so you can get back to enjoying warm, dry clothes in no time. Remember, we are here to assist you every step of the way, and we would love to hear about your repair experience. Feel free to share it with us in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your repair.